Hi everyone, I'm Marcie Besecker, an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up from Clovis, California. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you taking your time out and coming and joining with me and all these pop-ups. Skip a trial. You know how YouTube is popping up, try this, try that. So welcome, it is Wednesday already. Where has the time gone? I did our dancing lessons again last night. The first 10 minutes, everybody in there, all ages, there's 10 couples. Only 7 showed up last night, so I think we lost 3 in the first week. But our legs, like in 10 minutes in, we're all like, whew, our legs are hurting. But it was so much fun, and we actually learned, I think we're on step 6 or 7, and our instructor said, now you could actually go and use those steps and make it look like we know what we're doing. So it was a lot of fun. Hey, Marcia, Deborah, Carol, Tashana, Diane. How are you? How are you? How are you? So today and yesterday I worked on bingo. I've got 3.5 cards done. I'm really excited about it. So really nice cards. So as soon as I'm done, I'll get a sneak peek for you. But if you'd like to participate in bingo, there's a link below. Also in February, so this is our February bingo. We do 4 projects. We play 4 games, 4 $100 prizes. And it's a fun night of relaxing and having a good time. And then I mail your kits out and you can just create at your leisure. Hi, Creative Gems. How are you? Hi, Cheryl. How are you? Hi, Helen. So I'm working on that. The other thing I'm working on is February's class, which is Rain or Shine. It is such a cute class. I can't wait to do it. I've got a lot of it prepped. It's still available for register. So if you go to my blog, marciebeseckerdesigns.com, at the top it says shop for classes, bingo, retired, and more, right underneath the logo. So you can go there and it will give you an idea of everything I have available to sign up for. But there's a link below. You can also go there. Now, when you see this image in the shop, below it is text that says Rain or Shine Sweet Class. And then below that it says add to cart. Don't add to cart from there. It's the website will not let me remove that. Click on the text. The text will open up a page, which is the link below. And that's where you will register. And then once you're done and you register, continue scrolling down. And that's where you're going to pay for the class. So the red text below, click on it, and then you'll register, and then just keep scrolling, and you'll pay. I realized I didn't screen. Well, I was doing this and showing you, because this is important. I was looking at the Rain or Shine thing like you guys were, so I finally switched it over. Hi, Marcia, how are you? I'm glad. Hi, Connie. And so anyway, so that's the registration there. Paper Pumpkin. So the Paper Pumpkin is going to be super cute this month. You have until the 10th to sign up, the 10th of February. The cards on the right and the lily pads, all of that, that is going to be in the Paper Pumpkin. I believe we're going to get a stamp set. And first time ever, if you look on the machine on the right or to the left there on the bottom, are some dies. And I got mine today. Ooh, this is how they come. Ooh, $6 for your dies. You can only purchase these cutie little dies if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. So don't forget, you can subscribe and then you can pause your subscription. So if this month is for you, but next month's not, you can pause it and then wait for, the 11th to come of the following month, and then make sure it goes back on. But look how cute those are. It's going to be a little frog and flowers. And this, of course, goes really well with the Rain and Shine suite. So I am excited to start playing with these once I get my paper pumpkin in February, because of course there's nothing you can do about it now because there's no flowers or dies that it matches with. I haven't checked the flowers on our paper, but I don't think so. Because these are all little lined up flowers and the other ones are like 3 flowers, so that won't work. Hi Debbie, how are you? All right, so let me show you. I got some really cute stuff in the mail, so or given to me. So this one is from Diane Salo, and she wrote me a really nice note, and she put some glimmer on her flowers, and then on the inside, well, she cut out, here we go, I can kind of cover this up, cut out the sentiment and put it in there. She wanted to put the larger DSP here so that when you close that, so I think that was a really, really fun idea. So she wrote me a very nice long note and thanked me for the Christmas gifts and stuff like that. So that was very nice. The next one I got is from Rebecca Chapman. Thank you so much, Rebecca. I don't send Happy New Year's cards out, but I kind of, oh, this is my, yeah. Wish I did, because it was such an excitement. And then, of course, a nice long note with some DSP on the bottom. And I love how she used, you know, the pink goes with it. It's sparkly. It just kind of reminds me of the new year. Thank you so much, Rebecca. That was a fun surprise getting a New Year's card. And I think Olivia sent me a New Year's card too last time I shared that. So this is from Debbie. And Debbie, we know you're Debbie Spicer. I know you're going through a lot of stuff and you're traveling and you're taking care of your husband. And she had mentioned that she got this from another demonstrator, a card that she could use to send to me. Thank you for that. That was really nice of you to think of me with all the stuff that's going on with you. So we appreciate that. And there's a really nice note. It was a thank you for caring note inside, and just for helping her with some stuff. So that was very nice. Oh, I just love getting cards. This one is from Betty Hayden, who is here in town. And so she sent me this, which is so pretty. It's got the gold paper, and then she put the gold behind. Okay, I'm going to just pull it back here. Here we go. There we go. And so it's a Valentine's Day card. And then she put the gold behind this, and then see how the gold is behind the hearts? Well, it's not popped up or anything. The flowers are popped up, but she put that there, and then look how nice. It's got a white panel here and a white panel here. So very smart. Thank you, Betty, very much. And I appreciate all my notes you guys send to me. That is so thoughtful. And then my teammate Lisa, my downlines, gave me this card. I thought it was so cute. Remember these little tags? And it's got like the vellum on it. So she embossed it. And then a good use of DSP. She did like a checkerboard on there with the different DSP. And it was a thank you for being her upline and answering questions and things for her. And then she says she saw this dragonfly mug and that it was just something she had to get for me. She knows I love dragonflies. So thank you so much, Lisa. She was here at my class last week, and so she brought it for me. So thank you, thank you. So I appreciate all of your cards. Thank you so much. Let's see, make sure I didn't miss anything here. Yeah, thank you. They're all beautiful cards. I loved them, loved them. So tonight we have a really fun card. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to create. I should have kept my backgrounds out, and I threw them away because I kept doing a couple different things, and I just didn't like how they came about. So I'm going to show you what I did, and then I'm probably going to remember some of the things as I go on what I did and what I changed. So here is the card we're going to create. Hi, Dana. How are you? You're just in time. So here is our card, and we're going to do some fun using our blending brushes. So let's just get started with it. We've got a lot to do here. So what I knew is I wanted to use the lantern and I wanted to use the fireflies. We don't have fireflies. I had to look them up online. Online, they kind of look like their light is like a neon greenish-y color. But I know traditionally it's always like a yellowy color. So like in cards or pictures or whatever. So I don't know. The bugs online could have been wrong. They're not very cute. I like them like this better, I have to say. So let's just get busy. I'm going to show you what I did. First of all, oops, let's move those over here so I don't lose them. Okay, so I did 2 lanterns first. I did the bronze paper, and so the bronze comes out of the brushed metallic cardstock, and this is the bronze. It also has like a champagne gold in it, and then like actual gold. So I really liked the bronze for this. And I wanted to use the Mary Merlot because I haven't used it in forever. And I just thought it would kind of tie in with this card. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your copper piece or your bronze piece, whatever you decide, your top piece, whatever color you choose. And they've got these little lines right here. Okay, see those little lines? And that's where you're going to cut. All right, so we're just going to cut along the little dots. And they're just really little snips, 2 little snips per one. I'm going to round this up just a little bit more. I kind of cut it weird. And then this one here. Now, you could even go farther. You could, oops, I'm going to do this one a little neater. I don't think it has to be super neat because, you know, these things have little knobs all over. But what you could have done is you could cut this right here, which you can tell you've got all of these folds right here. And I think you can cut it and do different colors. So you could do these both copper, add a burgundy in the middle, or, you know, whatever. But you could also replace the top and replace the bottom and just leave your little X here, your wires holding your lamp in with the copper bronze color, and then replace the bottom, and then also made your outside, I call them my handles, but they're not handles, but it looks like you could just grab it and go, but I bet it would be very hot. But your outside glass protectors or whatever, you could make that a different color, so you can kind of really change it up if you wanted to. All right, so let me just move all this. So let's glue this up so we can push this aside. Oh, I found my pin. If you guys watched the other night, I lost my pin. Well, today I pulled out my Parakeet Party ink pad, and when I set it down, I had the pin stuck right here on my, luckily it didn't stick me, but it was just right there on my finger. And I picked it up and I thought it was this one. And I was like, oh, my pin. And then when I went to go set it where I put my pin down at, I was like, oh, that must have been the one I lost the other night. So on these center ones, you can just put a little bit of glue. You don't want too much. I'm going to just put a little bit right there. And now we're just going to lay this right on top. And look at all your little corners and stuff just to make sure it's lining up okay. All right. And now you can tell I got a little bit of glue somewhere and then I stuck it. We'll take care of that after it's all glued together. So when I pick it up, I'm just going to make sure my bottoms are nice and straight there. And if you look on the back, you can really tell if this paper shifted because it's white on the back side. So I think it's just fine right there. So we'll set that one aside. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is we are going to do our sentiment. And the sentiment, yeah, this is tailored tag and it's a punch and it's retired. But I say use what you have. And if you feel that it goes with the card and that it just kind of makes it look right, then use it. So I used it, and then I realized it was retired, and I said, well, if I was doing a card, which I think this is a great masculine birthday card, then I'm going to use it. So I'm going to stamp on this side because I think, yes, then I'm going to stamp again on this side. So what I did is I stamped off. So this side, it's really bright, and this side, not so bright. And so I'm going to use this side because it's just a little softer for us to do our stamping above. When I start doing the coloring, I'll bring in the camera a little bit more too for you guys. All right, let me show you the colors we're going to use while I'm here so I don't forget. So I have So Saffron, Daffodil Delight, Balmy Blue, Starry Sky, Night of Navy, and Pear Pizzazz. So those, I have a really weird glare today, but those are the colors. Okay, so those are the ones we're going to be using today. And of course our memento. And memento. You know what? I put our sentiment back. I know I did. So this is the stamp set. I guess I should show this, right? And our dies. So they've got a lot of extra dies in here. We've got these little bees. We've got this bee to create your own bee. We have these two little tiny ones for the little bee. And we have one medium and then one larger to cut these out. And then of course we have these circles for your glow. And we'll go over that in a little bit. So these wings here to go with this little guy here, or you can add them, or to go with this one here actually. And then this would be the body. So it took me a minute to figure out what this is. So this is the glow part. So if you want to do it in yellow or whatever, see how he doesn't have his little tail thing down here? So that would be the glow part. And then you can make this and this whatever color, and then just have his glow at the bottom. So that's what that is. All right, so let's get our sentiment on here. I'm going to do follow your dreams because on the inside, you could do happy birthday. You could do whatever you want. Congratulations on your new job. You know, congratulations on your new house, whatever. No worries, Laura. We're just getting started. All right, so we're going to do our sentiment there. And again, this is the tailored tag, which is retired, but grab whatever you have and what you think looks best. I liked this one because I have I did this stamp set stamped off, this little stamp. It's got little, it looks like they're little, what do you call these light bugs? I always forget, fireflies. They look like little like a swarm of fireflies, which when you have it like this, it looks like this little guy's, this one's going into the swarm and this one's going out of the swarm. So there's our sentiment. We got that done. All right. Now let's stamp our fireflies. So I have one small and the medium. I didn't do the larger one because I didn't want a big one, a huge one on there. I kind of want the main focus to be, you know, the light and the smaller flies around the sentiment. Now, you want to be careful with this. Okay, here we go. We're going to move that so we don't lose it. With your firefly, because it's got little lines in it. So let me show you. You can see, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's got little dotted lines. So it's got a little bit of a design. So you want to be careful that you don't stamp it too hard or too light. It took me a few times, so I'm going to stamp it. Okay, now that looks pretty good. See the little lines in there? You've got some design. If you go too hard, oops, especially that hard, but see how it's all black. You can't really see the lines as well as you can over there. So think about that. I did one of those. These don't have lines, so, oh, but you got to do them pretty dark. There we go. I need to re-ink my pad a little bit. So these are good, and then that one's good. So I just stamped a few until I got what I wanted, and then I have these, and then I'm gonna do some coloring on these. I lost one. Come here. All right. I'm trying to wipe I always try to wipe my stamps off a little bit so that I don't stick my arm or my sleeve or whatever. Okay, so because this is memento, it's easier to color with your blend. So I'm just going to do just the little tail on these guys. And I did them in black because it's nighttime in my scene. So they don't really have a color. Because, you know, in the nighttime, all you see is their glow. So there we go. There's our little fireflies. We'll push those aside. Okay, so now let's get started with our image. So what I have is the inside of our card. I chose not to add anything into the inside because it's a masculine card. So I tend to not always add a little extra piece of paper or stamp inside. It just depends. If there was a smaller lantern in the picture, I may have stamped it in the corner, or if there was something that, I mean, you know what would be cute is to add that little tent from that adventure set. Would be cute because it kind of goes with the camping theme, but I didn't. And so we're just going to leave it with some color in the background so it still looks really nice. And you can always stamp something else if you want. You can stamp happy birthday. I'm going to leave it blank because I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. And so this is going to be really close to the side. There we go. All right, so that is the inside. So we'll set that aside. We're going to layer this up. I'm just tying in the Mary Merlot with the lantern. All right, so we're going to set this aside, and we are going to get some coloring going here. Let me find and this is what it looks like in the catalog. So we've got our stamp set over here. We've got all the dies down here, so you can see that there's different ones. You can get cling or polymer. So either one you want. Cling is 160497 and polymer is 162381. I like cling unless it is two-step stamping or something where I want to see through it, aligning it. I even like sentiments in the polymer because you can look through it and kind of get it right where you want it. So it just depends on what the stamp set is. This one I was fine with doing the cling. All right, so we're going to bring in my almost gone grid sheet thing here. And we're going to bring in our colors, and we're going to bring in my blending brushes. So these are my blending brushes we're going to put right over here. Let me move everything out of the way a little bit and bring my inks up. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is my yellow. Okay, so I want to figure out what I need, and we're going to go with Daffodil Delight. I want it to be bright. All right, so we're going to do Daffodil Delight. So the next thing I do is I'm going to take my lantern and I'm going to set it down here, setting on the grass. The first card I did a little more tree, and I wanted to hang the lantern in the tree, but honestly it looked like it was just floating right above the grass. It did not look good because it's such a big lantern, so I didn't like that idea. So we're going to go ahead and put this down on the grass. So kind of get an idea here where you're going to go. And then what I did is you can take a pencil. if you want. I can't find one right now. So we're just going to go right about here. So I'm going to put my finger there. I'm going to grab my yellow brush. Okay. We're going to just, I like to just kind of pounce it in. I don't really like to rub. I'd rather put a little bit more and more color on it if I need. And so I'm just going to start here lightly. Okay. And we're going to get just a little bigger. Okay. So let's take our lantern. And we're going to just set it right about there. And I want to come down just a little bit here. So I'm going to come down a little. And if it goes down too far, it's okay because it's underneath the lantern. All right, so we're just going to come down a little bit. Now, while we have this color out, we're going to get our large circle, which is just a circle that we can do color. Okay, I'm going to come closer. If it's too close, let me know. All right, it might help a little bit. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my lantern again. It's going to go right about there. And I'm just going to kind of go, okay, right there, I'm going to do a circle. But I'm going to stamp off once. And then I'm going to do a circle right there. Okay, you can't, I mean, you can barely see that it's there, but it is a little darker there. In person, you can see it a little bit better. But I wanted to just make that circle there a little better. And then that way when you put your lantern, the circle is pretty much right in the middle there of this point here. So that looks like it's really glowing right there, okay? Oh, Deborah, me too. Hi, Nicole, how are you? All right, so we're done with our yellow. That's exactly what I wanted. And for now, let's just put all this aside. Okay, yellow goes back. I got a new one of these. I gotta just put it together, my holder. The next thing I did is I went to the grass. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in my green. I used Pear Pizzazz. I didn't use, it kind of depends. If I do something fun like gnomes or you know, just something cutesy, then I'll use like the, you know, parakeet pea maybe, or granny apple green. But because this is kind of more of a realistic kind of look, I'm going to pull this down a little bit so you can see. Then I usually use Pear Pizzazz. So I'm going to turn it sideways just because it's going to be easier. Make sure your hand is clean. And I'm going to start off, I don't want to pull that yellow, so I'm just going to turn this a little bit. Okay, and then I start off and then I come on. Okay, so you want to get green on here. And the edges, if they turn dark, I like that. So for me, I don't mind that at all. It kind of frames your picture, I think. But it's totally up to you. If you don't want that, then you can start off very lightly and come on and then, you know, just keep adding your layers. Okay, I don't want to sit here all day, especially on video, so I'm going to grab more ink. I mean, it layers up pretty good, so you could just keep going and it would probably be fine. But I'm going to add more. And remember, this isn't the sun, so the grass coming up pretty close to your lantern is perfect. So just kind of keep going back and forth. I probably don't need to keep picking up so much ink, but on video, I don't want to sit here and do 500 layers for you. So, and I like to have something here, either my thumb or my finger, whatever's, you know, comfortable for you. It depends on, you know, how big your area is, what the angle is, you know, whatever's comfortable for you. But I like to hold that just to make sure it's, I don't want it to break. It's a very sturdy brush, but still, that's just how I like to hold it. All right, we're going to come right up to about here. So now I'm going to turn it and I'm going to kind of go this way, but in little circular motions, because I don't want big old streaks on there. So I'm going to get this side a little wet. Okay, just so I can kind of get more up there. All right, and I think that is good. Okay, so it's however much you want to put. This one's probably a little taller, and that's fine too. We can go a little taller on the edge. It doesn't have to be completely even, right? You're making a scene. It could be a hilly, you know, whatever. So, all right, so that's good. I'm good with that. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to get, oops, I'm going to keep that open. And we're going to use this little grass. This comes with it. It's blades of grass. So I do 1, 2, I just keep stamping. So come in and add, so stamp on and then just stamp over a couple, like second, third generation, and then I go to the end and I kind of come in so that it kind of spreads it out a little bit. And then I'm going to come up here and work my way out. So now the blades are kind of, you know, staggered a little bit. And then I'm going to come here and then here and then stamp off. And then I'm going to come down here to the bottom, put some bolder blades in there. And then you can come up here. Okay, so see how you can just kind of stagger it, make it just look like a lot of grass. You could even add more greenery to the top of it. Like this one, I seemed like I went up higher and I was able to keep both levels of grass down. But this one looks really nice too, so I'm good with that. So it's whatever, just kind of, you know, add whatever you want. Make it look how you want. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. I really, really appreciate that. Okay, so now I'm going to take Balmy Blue. I'm going to start with the lighter blue. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm getting like a little, need some elbow room. All right, so now I turn this. Okay, so I'm going to turn this right here because I'm going to do a lot of my blue up here. Not that the green's really going to bother it, but when I'm doing the lighter blue, I'd rather do that. So I have my blue. Now, when you look at my brushes, this one's blue. I don't have this one labeled yet, but this one is more tempting turquoise. And then this one, I do more of Coastal Cabana, Bermuda, even Pool Party. So see, you can tell the different colors here. All right, so I like to keep my blue shades separate, even though you can do this and, you know, not have a whole lot on there. But this is what I choose to do. I just ordered a larger one to put my stuff in because I just have too many. And I don't even have as many as other people do. All right. So start off, and then you're just going to come on, just like we've been doing. And now this is where you're going to want to add some different depth to your image. Now, if you were doing a day scene, doing just this, this is Balmy Blue. So just this lighter scene. Okay, so let me show you when I change. Now look at how bright and blue that is. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit more. And then I'm going to show you the difference because normally with Balmy Blue, I'll use my darker brush and I'll show you why. All right, so that's just this lighter one, which I've really only used the light colors and I haven't used it in a little while. This is my darker one. So I'm going to rub off like that. See, there's not a whole lot on there. There's some because I just used it. But I'm going to go in the Balmy Blue. And I'm going to start off and come on. Now I'm rubbing kind of hard. You don't want to rub as hard as I am. I'm trying to do it fast for a video. So just kind of don't rub as hard. Roll it around. But see how it's picking up a little bit of the dark and the light? I like that because it's more realistic to me. So it's whatever you, and because this is nighttime, especially because I'm going to keep going and get the depth that I want. You don't want to go over your yellow. So you can go fairly close, because if you look, your brushes are angled like this, and then there's that top part, and then they start to angle back. So I can go up to about there and get it in there and get close to it. And same with the top of the grass. Okay. So you can kind of get in there. Oops. I like to not bring that yellow and green in there. I don't want this to turn a weird color. And so just kind of get your edge in there. Okay. And so I add this color first, and you're going to, when I choose my next colors, you're going to be like, why did you do that? To me, it just adds another layer of color. All right, so there's that. So that was the balmy blue. Now we're going to do Night of Navy. All right, so again, tap, 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 tap. And now I'm not too worried about the green, because this is pretty dark. So if you wanted to just do the lighter blue, you definitely want to be careful of the colors that are on your paper. All right, so I'm going to start down here on the edge, because I like the darker edge. And I'm just going to keep turning, turning, turning. And right now I'm more focused around the outside. And then we'll come to the inside here a little bit more. You see how it's just layering up the colors? And right now there's a lot of ink, so be careful going down the side until you get, you know, some of your ink kind of off, and then you can kind of come in a little bit more. And now I'm going to come a little closer over here. And remember, your lantern is going to go down here, so don't worry about this part. Okay, so just keep getting the depths. The outer side, this outside, if it's darker, it looks a little bit better because you've got this, and then it's going to glow here. So this, the darker side is, you know, when you look up in the sky and, you know, outside the campground, it's a lot darker. So I like to make it really a lot darker on the outside. And you can, you know, come in as much as you want. You can add more, and we're going to right here, but you don't want to do as much. Okay, so you can bring your scene really in a lot more. So just keep adding layers, and we're just about done with this color. All right, so I'm going to switch colors, and now I'm going to use the same brush, because we're still in the blue family, but we're going to add just a little more interest to it, and we're going to bring in the starry sky. All right, so let's just get this. All right, and so now you're just going to start in and see how it's darker, and it's going to bring in that dark purple look around the outside. And you can, like I said, you can bring that in as much as you want, or stay towards the edge if you want. Okay, and every card will look different. See how this is really glowing right here? You can even make that darker. It's just totally up to you. So see how now it's bringing in that really dark look. This is a really fun one when you do, you know, Halloween cards and stuff too. Can you imagine doing this and then you add those little scary cute kids that are just a little silhouette? I'm going to bring this in just a little bit. All right, so let's try this. Let's add our lantern. Okay, this is going to be sitting down in the grass. Look how cute that is. So cute. So I'm liking this. We're going to leave this like it is. I'm going to wipe my hands because I have ink all over right now. But we have some other inky stuff to do. But let me grab my trusty little baby wipes here. So I have my baby wipes, and then I also have this little towel, and this is like a little, it's called a bar towel, and it's just a thin towel, and I use it to dry my hands and wipe everything on. Okay, so we're going to take this off for now. I'm going to turn this over. Woo, my last one. I'm going to turn this over because we're going to do some other fun stuff. All right, we're going to put that on there. All right. Now we're going to bring our branch in. Now this is a little time consuming, but it's totally worth it, I promise. Now, if you look closely, can you see that my tree has brown and green? It's not black because you're close enough to the tree to where you can see it. The sky is not pitch dark. It's not super, super nighttime yet. And so it's not really dusk, but it's right around there because it's not really, really dark. And you can make that a lot darker if you want to. But I wanted to still see some color. I don't want black leaves. We've already did that with our fireflies that are up in the sky. So what I did, and this is a little time consuming, so bear with me. We are going to take Evening Evergreen and Early Espresso, and we are going to color our branch with the thicker part. Okay, let me turn it this way. And we're going to do our leaves, and you don't want to take too long, and it doesn't have to be super neat. So take your leaves. We're going to just stamp over each other several times, so you know it doesn't have to be super, super neat. You probably really can't tell if your branch has a little green or if your leaf has a little bit of brown. So don't worry about that. Just as quickly as you can, add this on here. And then we're going to, first thing I did is go low. I want to be close to my lantern, okay? All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing. So just keep doing that. All right, so just do that. Get your brown. Do it fairly quickly, just because you want it, you know, fairly wet so it'll stamp. And now I'm going to come out. You just want to make sure your stem is off the page. You don't want an empty stem just out in the middle of nowhere. Hi, Shirley. How are you? Thank you. Merely, you could have. I think it might have been odd, though, having a glow here and a glow up here. But if you just did like a circle sentiment, that would have, yeah, that's a good idea. I guess it would probably depend on placement, but that would have been really cute. All right, so just do this quick. It's like I said, it doesn't have to be super neat. You can definitely tell the branches and the leaves. So it's not like, ooh, is that a branch? Is that a leaf? No, it's super easy. And like I said, it doesn't have to be super neat. Okay, I'm going to come up here, and I want the tree branch to kind of be down a little bit right here. So now you're going to see I'm starting to go over, and now I'm going to just stamp again. You can barely see the second generation, but it's there. So I started doing that a little bit now to fill in a little bit, but it's really the first generation stamping because you can barely see the second. But you want to add a couple of them in there. All right, so just fill that in. Okay. And now I want to fill this in. There's a big spot of branches and new leaves. So notice I did that, and I'm going to go back up to the top and fill that in a little bit, but I still want to come out a ways. And you're just going to keep doing this until it looks how you want it. It depends if you want, you know, leaves all the way around. I mean, you could bring a branch in the other side like there's another tree. And that would be kind of cool to hide the moon behind the trees if you wanted to do that. Of course, then you couldn't put a sentiment on it, but there's all kinds of things. I love building scenes. So I want this one. Still, my stem is barely out. Okay, but now I'm getting my branches out a little farther. And then I'm going to stamp right here, just so that's a second generation. All right, I think one more and a second generation and we'll be good. All right, so there's the green. All right, and then there's the brown. We're going to do one more that's just going to come out straight out. And then I'm going to do right here at the top. Okay, so now it just kind of has that evening feeling there, right? All right, now here's some fun little trick that I do. So at nighttime, I like to add stars in the sky, but these are fireflies. So let me show you what I did. Take your marker and just put a bunch on your silicone mat or a craft sheet, whatever you have. I have a silicone mat right here. And now I'm going to take my Wink of Stella. Now I have to tell you, this one's almost empty, but I'm going to see what I can do to use it. And I use them brand new to do the same thing, so you don't have to worry. Oh, this one is just about done. I think on my other one, oh, here we got a little bit. Okay, see how there's just a little? That's plenty. Just do this. You might want a little bit more so you can have, it can be wet. So squeeze out everything you can if it's on the last leg. I'm going to add a little bit more color because I want this to look like fireflies. Okay, so pick it up. Before you do this, grab your piece. What did I do with it? Okay, so when you cut your lantern, you're going to have a piece like this. Just take this off and cover your grass and most of your lantern. If you see a little bit in there, that's not a big deal, right? Get your bone folder and just start flicking. Now, there's not a lot left in this one. I should grab my other one. Let me grab my other one because I want bigger flickers right there. I'm like, I know it's here. Where did it go? All right, sorry about that. I thought I would have enough left, but you want to have a little bit more than that because you want it to have, if you don't know how to use this, you open this up, you take the black thing off. That's just to keep what's in here protected and sealed. Okay. And now I'm going to shake it because it's going to have all my little mica glitters in the bottom down here. So shake it. Hi, Robin. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more to this because I want it to flicker. All right, and then I'm going to add more of this. Just because I added so much. And now I'm going to bring in a little more of this down here. Okay, there we go. Why is it my big ones aren't coming down on my drops? Oh, they're up high. There we go. So anyway, they're yellow and you're going to get larger drops. There they go. In the sky. And even if you get more little stars, bigger ones, that's okay too. Oh. And you can let them drop too, if I had some in here, but I don't. And we're going to just make some. So just add some in here if you want. Okay. And they've got that really pretty yellow. Now remember, your ink is not alcohol. This is alcohol. Your Wink of Stella, and adding that little bit of your ink color in there is just going to add that little yellow in there so it looks like fireflies. All right, and it comes right off. So got that. This one is empty. Gone, gone, gone. All right, so when you're making your glimmer, you can also, you know, add different things. Now, what I did with this card is I did the regular silver first, and then I decided, actually my upline, I was showing her the card, and she said, ooh, too bad that wasn't, you know, yellow like the fireflies. And I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking stars. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. That's what we're going to do. So there we go. Now you can lift that up, and you can tell it still goes down. Okay, so then you have your evening sky there. So we're going to let that dry. It does take just a bit, so we're going to set this aside. We're going to start putting, let me get wipe my hands again because I've got glitter everywhere now. Just want to make sure it doesn't get on my card. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. We're going to pull in our sentiment, our embellishment, our lantern, and our little bees, and we're going to put dimensionals on them. All right. And then what I did with the side, can you see right here? I cut the side off right here. I'm going to cut super thin. And then I'm going to cut this in half. It doesn't have to be super big, but you want to add a little bit of support on the side there. So let's do that. So find where, here it is. So we're going to add this. So see, just a little bit, just take the edge and cut a little bit. All right, so for those of you that participated in my last class, it said Tuesday, Wednesday, you should be getting the kits. And, the kits that I mailed. And then I also emailed out your link for the private video and the PDF. So hopefully you're getting that. And have fun. Leave me a message on the video, how you liked it and all that good stuff. All right, we're going to do this. Again, this one is retired, but if you have a favorite that you can use, I just love this one for masculine cards. I think it's a great sentiment. Although this can be masculine and not masculine. Okay, it looks like there's a little bit still wet right there, so we are going to cheat and take a tissue, and hopefully it doesn't take off. We're going to go to the dry area first to make sure it's dry. And these three. Now remember, when you go down, you don't want to smudge. You're picking up some of the silver, but it's leaving the color there. Okay, so just make sure it's all dry. All right, and now we're going to put our lantern on. We know where we want that to go. I'm going to add another little one right there. I'm going to put it right there. There we go. And so you have your little side support there. All right, it's down in the sand. You're looking at that circle, which is hard to see, but there you go. There's that. And now let's do our sentiment. All right, I wanted it close to the edge. You know what? I'm going to flip this over and leave it for right now because I forgot. I like it to the edge, but I want to adhere this first. So let's okay. So Mary Merlot is the paper, the darker. All right, and we're going to add this on the front of the page, the front of the card. What I think we'll do, because this is all sparkly here on the bottom, is we'll just bring that in. We're going to center that. Now, if you wanted to make this a card for a girl, you could add some like flowers down here or daisies or, you know, whatever you want to do to, you know, make it a little more feminine. I'm going to put this right about here because I really want to add my dragonflies. So again, the swirl, big swirl here, and then it gets thinner. So I definitely want to add one of my little dragonflies like he's leaving right there. So I'm going to put him right there. My large one's going to the light here. And he's closer. He's up closer to us. So you want him to be down here so you can see that he's a little closer. And these are flying away or flying in. This one will be flying inward. I just slide that right up so the dimensional is still equal with this one. So this one's not popped up on top, but I just overlay it just a little bit. All right, and that's it. Our card is done. So sometimes what I like to do, but look at how different the skies are. The trees look a little different. The grass looks a little different. I mean, every card's going to be different. It just depends on how much color you use, how much, you know, you're adding different colors. This one's glowing a little more in the middle than this one, but you can still see a glow right here. And so it's just kind of depends. And then the grass, this one, I probably could have come up a little bit more. It just, you know, kind of just depends on what you want. Thanks, you guys. And then, I mean, you could also add Wink of Stella right inside there before you lay your lantern down so that you really have a sparkly glow. It's just kind of all in what you want. But for me, I was thinking masculine, so I decided not to add too much. I want it to look like fireflies or stars or whatever you want. And then, see, you can see it here too, but it's a lot less. It's a lot lighter sparkles because I got some big chunks. And I didn't want too much down here. This one added a little bit more down here. It's just all in what you want. Just make sure you cover the grass because you're not going to have sparkles in the grass, especially if you want them to be stars. And then if you want them to be fireflies, I mean, I don't know if they go in the grass. I've never seen them, but Oh, thank you, Nicole. Thanks, Helen. Oh, Marianne, I am jealous. I want to see them. Yes, Deborah, you do need to. Thanks, Debbie. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I'm glad you enjoyed the card. I'm trying to catch all the chatter, but sometimes it's hard. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate it very much. I will be back on Sunday. And for now, don't forget, it's just a reminder, and links are below, that my bingo is coming up for February. The cutoff will be coming up. It's on my blog. You'll see that. So don't forget to sign up for that. I've got 4 really, really cute cards. I'm almost done with the 4th one. So that is coming up. Also, my February class, Rain or Shine. If you purchase a suite from me, the class will be free, but you must register. Also, pretty much everything, I was trying to look at the cards, other than the sentiments, it's going to be a great class. I've pretty much die cut and did everything. I'm trying to think. I think you just need the sentiment. I mean, to do sentiments on it. So they are magical. They usually go. Oh, they do go on the grass. Well, see, you learn something new every day. So fireflies go in the grass. Okay. I need to pay attention when I see them on movies, I guess. We do in Canada too. Oh, you guys are lucky. Bye, Tashana. Oh, lightning bugs. I've heard that too. I think I've mostly heard fireflies. Just recently I've heard lightning bugs. So anyway, thanks for joining me, you guys. I'm glad that this is the card we did tonight. I'm glad you enjoyed the card. So sometimes I was trying to think of a DSP, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to make a scene. And then the lantern's so big. So remember, the lantern's in the front on the ground with the largest firefly, makes it look larger here, and then it gets smaller in the back. By adding the second branches on a second generation, it makes it look like that tree is fuller than what you can see, and maybe those branches are farther back, and then these are larger. And if I would have taken this branch right here and put it, right above, and then put the lantern on it, it might have looked like it was hanging from that, but it's so big I didn't want it touching the ground. So it is what it is. But think about that when you're creating a scene, what's larger and what's smaller, so that it looks a little more realistic. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I will see you guys on Sunday. Have a fantastic week. Bye, everybody.